So I got the 2020 Rocky Mountain Slayer C50 29er on test. So I got this from a friend of mine, so shout out to you. Thank you so much for letting me demo this. Let's have a look at the componentry. So this is a large 469 reach, so about 470 reach. In the slackest position it changes. In the neutral position, or maybe even the steepest position, it goes closer to 475 reach. Didn't feel great in the neutral position. I've only ridden it a couple of times now, so we're just kind of having a look over it, an overview, if you will. Lyric 170, debonair, charger damper. So this is the Lyric Select, and I've found with the Lyrics, so 150mm no token is best, or really good. I think it's best. 160mm no token seems best. You could probably teeter between no token and one token. 170mm one token is best. What no tokens feels a little bit sloppy. And 180mm I'd assume 1 to 2 tokens would be best. So that's just little insight on the Lyrics. They feel killer. They feel great. No clicks of compression or 1 click of compression. Both feels pretty good. So I'll dive into that a little bit more as I ride it. Came with these Rocky Mountain bars, which are 785 wide, too wide for me. Definitely makes, being that it's already a big bike, it makes it just feel too, I'm at full stretch when I'm riding it. So I've just changed the bars. I put my bars on it. I got the Race Face Chesters at 750, including the grip. So they're cut at 740, and you got about 5 or so mil on the edge of each grip because it's a single clamp. So that hangs off about 5 or 6 mil. So they're about 750, 755. Much more comfortable for me. Unless you're a huge dude, you shouldn't be running any wider than 760, 770 in my opinion. Just for control. You better control, you take up less space left to right on the trail, so less chance of clipping things. It's just all benefits. It's all benefits. You're less mechanically stretched when you're maneuvering, you know, when you're going left arm straight or whatever, when you're doing an off camber turn or dealing with lefts and rights and all sorts of things. Anyway, continue on. One up dropper post is killer, works flawlessly. The lever's okay, I don't mind the lever. Again, WTB, I think it's a Volt saddle, so comfortable, I love it. I've just bought one and put one on my bike, it's killer, really good. Slx Brakes, so these are Slx 4-pot brakes, so 4-piston brakes, so no adjustment or anything, just power. Literally, you've got the grip adjustment, but no other adjustments. They're so powerful, they're so on and off. I love the power, but for a light guy like me, I'm only about 74 on the bike, 74 kilos on the bike. There's not enough control, so I love the power. If you're 85 kilos plus, Shimano's the brakes for you. And I've said it before, but I think SRAM are the kings of control. The brakes are the kings of control. My codes are so much control, but they don't have the amount of power that the Saints, especially the Saints, have got ridiculous power, and the XT 4-pots and these SLX 4-pots. They've got all the power that my codes do, easily all the power that my codes do, but less control. So, you know, I'd go to say there's more power for less finger effort, but overall power, they're probably similar between these and the codes, but they're just less control. So easier to slide the back wheel, easier to lock up the front wheel. Takes more to get used to. You will adapt if you're going to run brakes like this, easily adapt, but that's just my opinion on the Shimano brakes versus the SRAM brakes. SLX, they're killer on this bike, super strong. Super Deluxe Ultimate rear shock, 400-pound spring, gets me at about 22% sag. So probably oversprung for me, but doesn't really feel bad. So like I said, I've got it in the slack position. Started in the neutral position, which is position 3, so almost the steepest position. And it really felt like I was on top of the bike, and it really felt like a bike that was way oversprung, and it just didn't feel good. I wasn't sitting in the bike, and it wasn't confident. It wasn't confidence inspiring. Moving it to the full slack setting with the same spring, same 20-odd, 22-ish, 21% sag. Feels great, feels much better. It's not choppy at the back. I'll have to ride some rougher, steeper trails over the next couple of days to really see how it feels and comment on that. But seems okay for me. 400-pound spring seems okay. It's supple. It's really soft off the top, so I sit into the sag quite easily. I'd say that if I went a softer spring, it'd be more sluggish. It'd feel more sloppy, more spongy. But it climbed as fast as any bike I've climbed. It weighs, as you see it now with these Kona Wawa pedals, they're really good too, by the way. These Kona Wawas, I think they're plastic, but damn, they are good. They're big, they're grippy, they feel confidence inspiring. There's no bit here that pushes out like, the one-up aluminium pedals and the one-up plastic pedals have a little bit of a floating spot in the middle, which gets annoying on a long climb and takes away from your grip a little bit. But I mean, long pins, these will tear your shins or your calves to shreds. Really grippy, they're really good. Yeah, back to coil feels good. It makes a weird noise. The Super Deluxe Ultimate makes a weird noise, and I think it's just the countermeasure spring inside that's making that noise. So it just sounds like it's a metal springy sound. And I've heard a lot of people talk about these make that noise. Carbon frame, it's okay. Feels a little bit flexy left to right. It's a little bit like that, but not the end of the world. Feels okay. The wheels, WTB STI 30s. They feel flexy. They don't feel very strong. 32 spoke, pretty standard, but they just don't feel very strong. They feel a bit flexy, to be honest. XT with an SLX cassette, feels good. Smoothish. I wouldn't say you can change under load. I'd never change gears under load anyway. You just turn into Captain Crunch like that, and you'll maul your chain, you'll maul your cassette, you'll probably end up mauling your derailleur as well. Don't change under load, even though they say that these can change under load. I think it's more the XT and the XTR cassette with XT and XTR chain that allows you to do that shifting under load. But don't shift under load. Simple as that. 200mm rotors front and back, which is perfect. Plenty of power, plenty of control. It's probably why I'm locking the back up a little bit easy as well. I'd probably back off to a 180 rotor if you had brakes this powerful on the back. Feels good. The bike feels pretty good. Now that it's in the slack position and I've changed my bars, going to the 750 bar and getting that bar height right. So I've put one spacer under the on top of the stem here, 3 underneath. It was all the way up the top at at about 1090 to the top of the grip. If you set the bike on level ground, 1090 to the top of the grip. Obviously you got to balance the bike so it's even, so you and calibrate, so you check that side and check that side to make sure you are getting an even reading and not getting it, it's leaning that way, so it's high this side, whatever. Anyway, that's a rant. It feels way more maneuverable with a narrower bar. I'm way less at my end of reach, so it just feels like it's a good size for me now. With the right handlebar, the suspension set up pretty well. Feels really good. Out of the box, this thing comes with a DHF max grip, double down up the front, 2.5, so killer. It's a wicked spec out the box. 170 cranks, which is absolutely essential. It's a large, so they've gone the 170s. 165, or any bike company that's still putting 175 cranks on their bikes, lose my number. You're doing yourselves a disservice, and you're just making everybody either have unnecessary crashes or have to buy shorter cranks, or unnecessary, at the very minimum, unnecessarily pedal strikes. Constant pedal strikes. 175 cranks do not have a place on a mountain bike, in my opinion. I don't know how the XC guys go with the better leverage and whatever. Maybe they want it and need it because their focus is pedaling. But for when your focus is control and descending and all day riding for technical fun, it has to be 165s or 170s if you're real tall. Saying that, I think the 170s probably climb a little bit better. So the bikes that I've had 170s on, I've always climbed well with, but not standout. But I do prefer the 165s. I like a more compact crank for sure. So another rant on that. Like I said, the XT shifts well. Everything feels good on this bike. It feels really good. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a good slap. Some good trails. I'm not going to send it too hard because we have seen with a pink bike review that they broke the back end of one of these, so I'm not going to go ham. Obviously it's not my bike, so I wouldn't go ham anyway, but we'll put it through its paces and see what it goes. It is silent, the bike's silent, feels good. Aggressor, double down on the back, perfect. It's party time.